The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Usually you know everything to do with yourself.
Well, you think you do,
and
don't
then
you?
sometimes someone can come along and tell you something you're not aware about at all. And this has happened with Daniel Ricciardo, because Daniel Ricciardo is now a lead in a romance novel that's been written about him. It's called Overtake My Heart, Thick Rick Races for Love.
Thick Rick.
Yeah, it's number one out of the 69 series. No, honestly.
Yeah.
So there's a photo of him, a drawing of him in that romantic
kind
novel,
of
windswept.
Yes, think Fabio,
Big
but
chest,
Daniel Ricciardo.
abs, he's straddling the hood of a car.
And he's like, his shirt unbuttoned.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
If
Thick
you
Rick.
meet Thick Rick, what are you thinking, Nat?
I'm thinking I'm pretty happy with the situation.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. The person that wrote it is really funny, actually. She says, this is her bio. Anita Driver, that's her name. Anita Driver is a Formula One enthusiast who has attended every Spanish Grand Prix since 1991. She first learned to love cars when she was struck by one at the age of 9. Then it goes on to say, she currently resides in a flat in New York with her 29 cats who are all named Bernie Wigglestone. She once shared a cab with Margaret Thatcher and has a very festive pair of ruby slippers that she wears when she's feeling fancy.
So she's funny. I like
so
her.
She's a bit fun. So the book, it's all about a chick named Emily. Follow Emily, a smart, independent woman, as she navigates the thrilling and glamorous world of Formula One racing and tangles with the irresistible, charming playboy Daniel Ricciardo. And then she's apparently got a bit of a fetish about his neck, because his neck is mentioned 30 times in the book.
Cool.
Wow.
Here we go. Here's some of it. Emily found herself drawn to the sight, her heart beating faster, as she imagined what it would feel like to touch that thick, powerful neck. No neck could compare. They say a man is 75% water, but not Daniel. He was 75% neck.
So it's pretty erotic,
So when you think
obviously.
about it, he
It's
actually
neck
has got
level.
Yeah.
It's
big
neck
neck.
level. Crazy. He found out
he
about
just found
this.
this
He
out.
found
Yeah.
it. He was on Dax Shepard, who is Kristen Bell's husband. He was on his podcast. So Dax was talking about it. He sent it over to Daniel, and this is Daniel's reaction to seeing the book for a first time, which he did not know about.
What the hell? Anita Driver, Overtake My Heart, makes a great gift for Mum. Thick Rick Races for Love. Book 1 of 69 in the Daniel Ricciardo Erotic Adventure Series. What the is this? I look jacked, though.
I'll take that.
I mean, if they're going to put a drawing of you on the front, you want it to look good. So,
It's
you
I know, but
Happy
that's
day.
amazing to feel
I
someone's
mean, it's a little bit,
using your name.
Well, the legalities of it is one of the legalities. Daniel can write fiction.
yes.
But, like, you know,
Well, you're using someone's name.
So I'm sure that he'll be getting someone up and about that, just to
of course,
have a little bit of a dabble. But I've been telling you guys what happened with Johnny. So Johnny, as you know, my mate from Meat and Bun, he was using this software, right? So it's sort of like a software that combines everything together.
Like a business
so your stock
management,
taking,
so
all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
It's a back of house management platform. So anyway, he's been using it and he's been loving it. He thinks it's absolutely amazing. So the company that set him up and Johnny had paid for, they contacted him and said, hey, how are you going? And he goes, we'd love to do a Zoom call with you just to have a chat and see.
Get your feedback.
Yeah, what your feedback is. So he goes, all right, no worries. So suddenly, Johnny's phone's ringing. He's driving, so he pulls his car over to the side of the road, and then he's just doing a Zoom call with these people, just having a chat with them. Yeah, in his car. Just having a chat with them, saying how great it is, just blowing smoke up their bums, basically.
Why not?
As you would. Anyway, long story short, I was told by a few people, hey, I haven't realised that Johnny's done an ad. And I went, Johnny hasn't done an ad. I'd know Johnny's done an ad. No, we've seen it on Instagram. We've seen it online. I said, Johnny hasn't done an ad. Anyway, I find out and speak to Johnny and said, what's this ad apparently you're doing? That Zoom call from this business, they use that as an ad.
So they recorded it and then put an ad with his testimonial.
Yeah, and they've
without
tagged
telling
Meat
him
and
that
Bun
that's what they were doing.
And so Johnny's like, wait, I said, did you agree to this? And he goes, I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did. And he goes, but I've contacted them. They haven't gotten back to me about using my ad. Here's a bit of it here.
It's just a life-changing app, like an add-on for us. It's just, it's been so good, so easy. I love it so much that I'm recommending it to every single person.
So bringing endorsement.
I meet up with my local competitors, like we're all like other burger shops, and we're all kind of mates, and I love and respect them. And I was like,
you can see it cut in.
Keeping my secret, but it's too good, and I just let everyone know.
Mate, I said to him, the only saving grace is you look good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know.
That'd be another thing.
As Daniel Ricciardo found out, as long as you look good, it's fine.
You want to know if this has happened to you, right? You found out that you were being used for something, or your likeness, or maybe someone that you know, and they didn't know, or you didn't know.
Yeah, that's right. It's all happened without your knowledge.
Yeah, it's like, how about a heads up? Like, let me know it's involving me.
No one's writing romantic fan fiction about you, although if they are, we definitely want to hear from you.
For sure.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Remember years ago we spoke to someone and they said that they didn't realise that their and them and their family's photo was being used for real estate ads over in the UK.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
So that kind of thing.
Yeah. Not being given a heads up about something because someone's using something of you. We want to know, has this happened to you or not? $150 for Atlas Fuel.
Oh. Well,
nice.
Are you
free
kidding
fuel.
me?
Everybody loves
Someone's
that.
getting $150 of free fuel. Find your local WA-owned and operated fuel supplier at atlasfuel.com.au.
All right, give us a call. Paz is in Southlake. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Paz.
Okay, was your image used for something? What happened?
Not me, it was my younger sister.
What happened?
She had done a photo shoot for just like a modelling something, but just to keep personal. So it was just one of those photo shoots you do personal.
So like a portfolio shoot. So
Yeah,
that she just had photos
like
to show
that.
other people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. And she posted it on Facebook. And then the image was actually found about 2 weeks later to advertise a dating website.
Oh, you know what? That is such a feather in her cap because that shows that you're hot enough to be
that's right.
the face of a dating
To
website.
lure people in.
Yeah, she was drawing in the men.
Yeah, they
that's
don't
the
use
one.
monsters.
What did
for
she
that.
do with that, Paz? Did she contact them?
She did try and contact them. She ended up taking them to like a small claims court. They ended up pulling the ad down, but I don't think she got any money from them.
Wow.
Spewing.
Damn. You need compensation for that,
do.
don't you? Because during that time while the ad is up, how many men did you trap?
Yes. And also, did she have a boyfriend at the time, Paz?
At the time she did, yeah.
Yeah,
so it was
then
kind of
that's an
a
awkward
bit rude.
conversation.
Yeah, it is. A bit
Yeah.
To be honest, really? I mean, I think I'd be okay with it. If you look good and, you're advertising something all right,
Yeah.
you think I'm hot
That's my
enough
partner.
to pull in other single people, I'd be good with that.
Thanks, Paz. Iris is in Thornley. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Iris.
Hi, Iris.
What happened?
I was renting a house in Perth, and my real estate agent was doing a routine house checkup
Yes.
at the time. That's what she had said. And then, 3 weeks later, my daughter rings me and tells me, Mum, the house is up for sale.
What?
You can see our family photos. And I'm like, oh, my God, what? Really?
So she told you it was a regular house inspection, but while she was there, she took a whole lot of
I thought it was
photos.
a regular house inspection, and she took a whole lot of photos for the website. The house looked beautiful, though.
Yeah,
so.
I bet. Yeah, it never looks better than on house inspection day.
Yeah, but I was just shocked to see what my kids' faces in the background.
Yes.
Iris, we had the same at our house. We were selling our house a few years ago, and then there was anyway, we moved on. We saw this Christmas card from that real estate agent.
Yes.
And they had a group photo in our front yard, in our in our garden.
That's
so
insane.
one of the home opens, they must have got all
Everybody
the staff over here. Let's have a few photos in the garden. What? Jesus.
That's cheek, isn't it?
crazy.
Thanks, Iris.
Thanks, Iris. Let's go to Sharon in Alkimos. Hey, Sharon.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
What happened,
Sharon?
Sharon?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
we can. Tell us
sound
a story.
amazing. What happened?
Okay, so what happened is about 30 years ago, I'm 50 now. When I was hot back 30 years ago, I was living on the Gold Coast and I met a really hot guy and he was like top of the wazza. And we dated and I was going to the gym and then I won a modelling shoot thing, like, one of those things you put your thing in and you win.
Yeah.
So I won it. So I went to this modelling shoot and I was all sexy lingerie and I was a fairy and then I had like all different like props and like that. And my boyfriend was standing there. They said, you take your shirt off, get on top of her. Because he was hot as. So he
barely mentioned it.
We're like they're making out, like they're taking photos of us, so it's all great.
Yeah.
We leave the place. They said, okay, we'll send you some photos later on. So they did. And then a few months later, I just walked past the shop and there's a huge picture of us making out, like the best picture ever.
Oh, yes.
And so that was great. I didn't really mind.
Oh, my God.
Wait,
Oh,
Sharon.
it looks so good.
What sort of shop was it? Where were you?
On the Gold Coast.
Yeah. And it was a dog food shop.
What shop was it?
What shop was it?
Yeah.
It was a photographer's, wasn't it?
Yeah, the photographer's shop. Yeah,
okay, right.
So
Yeah.
they were promoting themselves with our
Yeah.
thing. Like, we were really good looking guys.
No.
She hasn't said it enough, Nate.
And then they found us somehow, and they said, "Oh, do you want this photo of you guys? It's a pretty big one." I said, "Yeah, I've seen it." And they gave it to us after all these years, but we're not together anymore.
So a
he's
gigantic poster.
Do you have a copy of
30
it?
years going on, he's still got it at his house, and he's married with other kids and
He's
everything,
still
but
got it at his house with his new wife and
Hidden
his
away.
family.
hidden away.
Oh, no.
That's pretty funny. But no, they were really hot, Nathan.
Yeah.
So that's
They're really
okay.
hot.
As
Well,
you
they
know
need to
that,
display it.
Sharon, because you said now you were way hotter than you are then. I want to know, we've always asked this question, is it good to have been hot and then lost it, or is it better to have never been hot at all?
Oh, when you get older, you just change your mindset. Like, you know, I think I'm still hot, but I'm not. But but I am.
Yeah, no,
But
you
she
are.
is.
And I think knowing that you once were super hot,
She was hot,
that gives you a lot of confidence.
I know,
You what I mean?
but then again, it's like if you've never it's like you don't know what flying first class is, and then once you do, you realise how crap economy is. It's that sort of mindset, you know. Sean's had some great.
They were very interesting. Atlas Fuel, though, they want to give us some money, $150, in fact. Find your local WA-owned and operated fuel supply at atlasfuel.com.au. Sharon, you're super hot. I can feel it.
I don't think we should.
And you've told us 100
She's
times.
too hot to be near petrol.
Yeah. This is coming your way, Sharon?
Yes,
Yeah,
and
like
this is
a hot little
because
thing.
we've
What,
decided.
I won?
Yes.
Yes.
Far out.
I know. We've
I know.
decided
I'm
that
on Bali
you.
now in a minute.
You
I'm
are-
going to Bali in a minute, so I'll be on the plane in a minute, so that would be good to come
Oh,
back to.
you're going to Bali
I'll feel that.
today?
Yeah, in a minute. Yeah, I'm just driving to my dad's going to pick me up from wherever I'm going.
Yeah, right.
Wow. I hope you're ready for Bali. I mean, you look as hot as chips, no doubt. 'Cause
Well,
Sharon's
I've got
hot.
a
You heard
spray
it?
tan now, and I've got some like stuff going on. You know, I'm hairless.
Do you know
Ready to
Whoopi
mingle,
Goldberg?
Harry?
Whoopi Goldberg is naturally hairless.
Yeah,
She's Siamese cat.
the
So
re-
that's
the
why she
rest
has
of us have to be unnaturally hairless, Nathan. It's a costly exercise.
Yeah, so she's just got her dreads and then no eyebrows, lashes, nothing.
Have a great time in Bali, Sharon. Nice work.
Thank you.
There's Sharon. Hairless Sharon in Bali.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
It's Nathan and Sean's
Having the guys at your school might be safe, but enrolling the kids at State Swim will make them stronger and safer swimmers. Just in time for summer, head to stateswim.com.au.
We thought it was time we got on board with the whole Book Week phenomenon.
Yes.
And so this Friday we're going to be broadcasting from Bull Creek Primary School.
That's right.
They nominated, and we're the very lucky school to be selected. So we're going to be there in costume, enjoying
It's going to be so
it all.
much fun. How's this? Jeremy McGovern from the West Coast Eagles and Sean Darcy from the Dockers. They're going to be joining us for the show on Friday.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Because the kids wouldn't have seen them live much up
Yes.
close. They'll just see two giants.
I
Yes,
know.
especially
They're gonna love it.
Darth.
Yeah, I think that Gov's coming as Darth and Darth is coming as Gov.
Great. Neither of them have written a book, so
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
perfect sense.
Yeah, so there's going to be prizes to give away. There's going to be swimming lessons from our mates at State Swim.
Yeah.
They're going to be given away as well.
For people there and
stuff.
people at home
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But we thought to celebrate, let's get into the world of children's literature. We have
right.
author James
Hi,
Foley
James.
in
Hey,
the
James.
studio with us.
Hello.
James, you're a big hit when it's Book Week, aren't you? Lots of kids love to dress up as the characters in your books.
Yeah. I've actually had some photos come through of my newest character, Secret Agent Mole.
Yes.
These little kids dressing up in these little white tuxedos with plunger guns going to their schools.
That's super cute.
It's amazing. Hopefully they don't get stopped by security on the
Yeah,
way.
no.
Yeah.
Knowing this, right, because Book Week's huge and, you know, you're going to have generations growing up with your books.
Oh, hopefully.
Have you thought about dabbling in making the costumes and selling them?
Oh, as
Like
the-
party hype.
Why
Get them-
wouldn't you have from the official Harry Potter and that have got them from
Yeah.
the official
the book and costume
Yeah.
set?
A whole merchandising empire.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
because look at that, just a little cheap white suit and some square glasses, boom.
It would be handy. Well, I've got some actually some free printables on my website, masks of the characters.
No, that's
if
free. You're an
I know.
idiot.
I know. But
Shh,
no,
money.
Copyright agency. I can still get money from
Are
that.
you
mate.
talking about that? Really? Can I copyright things? What?
Yeah.
What can I do?
You give away say all your ideas, mate.
I do.
We're telling
It's
you
not
for
good,
years.
James. Very generous.
James, you've been doing a few readings this week already? Oh, sorry, last week?
Yeah, I was on tour in Sydney last week doing some Sydney schools. I'm supposed to be at some Perth schools this week, but you might hear from my voice. I'm recovering from some bronchitis I picked up on the tour last week, so I've had to actually reschedule my schools for this week.
That's a shame.
So sorry to Aquinas. I was supposed to be at Aquinas today.
Oh, they've got enough. It's fine.
But we're rescheduling. I'll be there later in the term or next term. We will reschedule book week for you.
But what great inspiration. Write a book about it. The Wonky Bronky.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just came to me.
When did you get involved in doing children's books? I'd imagine what were you a writer to begin with? What were you doing before this all took place?
Have you ever been a child?
I'm still in mentally. I think I still are. I used to work for the health department just up the road here, actually, at King Eddie's, and I was studying community psychology. I met my wife there, so I had like a whole other day job. But I was always drawing on the side, and I used to draw covers for the Quokka newspaper.
Yes.
Between 2003 2010, that was like
was a job.
My very long apprenticeship. I was getting paid to draw the cartoon covers.
So
It's one of those things that you don't ever realise who did it, like the person that draws the Bunnings stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Because you're a bit of a unicorn in that you illustrate your own books as well. So you write them and illustrate them.
Yes, I do.
That doesn't happen that often, does it?
There's a few of us in WA who do that. We've got some amazing people. We've got Frane Lassac who does that. We've got Bryony Stewart, Karen Blair. We've got amazing talent in WA.
Yeah.
But it is handy to be able to do both.
Yeah.
Because then you can control the whole process of the story. You get the whole royalty statement, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. Now, my favourite from your books is Stellafant.
Yes.
About an elephant that wants to be an astronaut, but the people won't let her because she's an elephant.
Oh, that's not fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come a long way, though.
Come on.
I can see this happening.
Yeah. Which is the book that resonates the most
with readers.
Yeah.
I think Stellafant really did resonate really well. I'm still getting some photos come through this year of kids dressing up as Stellafant again.
Adorable. So they're just like sewing up the little dress?
Yeah. Well, a lot of them are just getting like a cheap sort of spacesuit thing, and they're dressing up as that with like a trunk and some ears and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's doing really well. I think it resonates on a lot of different levels. People sort of take it as just a story of determination, but it's also a story about discrimination, feminism, diversity, all that sort of stuff as well.
How long does it take for you to illustrate a book?
It depends on how long the book is, how many pictures. So, like a graphic novel like this, 200 pages, Secret Agent Mole, about 6 to 7 months to make one of those.
Wow.
To write it and to illustrate it. But, you know, I've got 2 kids. I've got a family. We've got to balance it all out with the life work and everything. Stellafant, I worked on and off for 7 years.
Was she your first? Was she?
No. She was like my 18th.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But you just were developing the idea just in the background. It was just ruminating.
That's it. So I worked on about 7 or 8 books in that time as well. But this one, the first illustration was done in 2014. And so stories sometimes take a long time to grow, you know, to develop, for all the pieces to fall
So you're not just banging them out, which is, I think, what people's perception of children's authors is, because you can read it so quickly. It's like, just bang out another one, and next month we'll bang out another one. That's not how it works at all, is it?
Well, you can write a picture book in an afternoon. Yes. But you can't illustrate one in an afternoon.
Yeah.
You know, it takes...
Well, you could. They just wouldn't be very good.
That's right, exactly right. It's pretty easy to make a bad children's book.
Yeah.
But it takes a little while to make a decent one.
Yeah.
James, you're a bit late getting in here. We were trying to get to you earlier on.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
You've had a horror morning.
I left my phone at home. I couldn't call your producer to get into the office. I had to go find a tradie with a phone to hotspot my iPad so I could get the phone number. And so I just got to give a shout out to Chase, the tradie. Chase, spelt with a S and a Z.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chase. You're an absolute champion.
Did you give him a signed book? Cause
I didn't have a spare.
You know what you should do?
I should
name a character after Chase, because that's a great name.
Chase, I'm gonna name a very maybe a cheetah, a very fast character.
Yeah. Maybe in your new book, Wonky Bronky.
Exactly.
About the author that had bronchitis and couldn't go to.
So you went through. You must have been panicking a bit then, obviously.
Oh, I was thinking, no, I think this will be all right. I think we'll get through. I'll go up the fire escape. I'll knock on the door. No one can hear me. Let's find someone who's awake. Some tradies.
Do you want to know something funny? We can see you. See that camera there?
Oh, you can see me? Oh, no. I should have just stood there and just gone, hey.
Yep.
Hey, so, James, one thing that's really exciting for us is when we get the author of a book, and we've never actually had this done before. I want to know, can you read a bit of your book so I can hear how you meant for it to be read?
Yes. In the bronchitis edition.
Yes,
okay. The Wonky Bronky version.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, right. So this is, tell all the kids, gather around the wireless.
That's right. Good morning, boys and girls.
This is Uncle James.
This is Stellafant.
Okay.
And
good start.
The story starts here.
Okay.
One ordinary Monday, at 9 a.m. precisely, Stella walked into Space Command. "Hello," she said. "I'd like to become an astronaut." Oh, my God. The man stopped clacking on his keyboard and looked up. "But you're an elephant," said the man. "I am," said Stella, holding out her application. "But we've never had an elephant astronaut before," said the man. "I know," said Stella. "I would be the first."
Oh, my God.
Oh, is it doing something for you?
She's breaking the glass ceiling.
Yes,
Keep going.
"I'm sorry," said the man, "but I don't think we can let an elephant be an astronaut."
That is a joke.
Imagine what would happen. We'd have all sorts of animals applying for approval.
Yeah, duh.
"But you have sent some animals to space," said
All good
Stella.
points, Stella.
Monkey.
Dog.
The man nodded. "Then why not an elephant?" asked Stella. I don't know if you can see. It's not a good thing for radio, but can you see this guy's...
Yes,
this guy's very hard at work.
Is this guy playing solitaire?
He's just playing solitaire.
Yeah, that guy's playing the one thing that every mum in the country is playing on her iPad.
"I'm sorry," said the man, "but the other animals were smaller. We don't make spacesuits in your size or shape." Yeah, sizes.
Triggered.
"Unless you can find a spacesuit to fit you, I can't approve your application." So Stella measured and stitched and tinkered until finally it was ready.
She made her own?
She did. "Now can I be an astronaut?" asked Stella. "I'm sorry," said the man, "but you'd need to complete basic training, and we're just not set up to train elephants. You're too big. You'd break all our equipment. Unless you can, I know. Unless you can find training somewhere else, I can't approve your application."
Wow, she's gone through it, isn't she?
So Stella found teachers, and she studied,
The teachers
and
are
strengthened, and practiced, and prepared.
Oh my God!
Until finally she was ready.
Really?
She's standing there with her PhD in astrophysics.
Oh my God! She got a PhD.
"Now can I be an astronaut?" asked Stella. "I'm sorry," said the man, "but our rockets aren't built to lift elephants.
Oh, my God.
You're too heavy. Besides, you wouldn't even fit through the door.
This is a joke.
Unless you can find another rocket, I can't approve your application."
Wow.
So Stella sketched and tested and assembled until finally it was ready.
She really would need one of those seatbelt extenders, though.
Yes,
wouldn't she?
She would.
Yeah.
She would.
Made you go.
"Now can I be an astronaut?" asked Stella. "I'm sorry," said the man, "but you need a crew, and unfortunately none of our astronauts want to fly with an elephant.
That's true.
They
I've
say
heard that
it's
before.
bad luck. They say it's too dangerous. They say something's bound to go wrong.
This is so mean.
Unless you can find a crew, I can't approve your application." All those reasons they give there are the reasons that the male astronauts gave to the idea of female astronauts.
Yes.
Are you joking?
No, it's true.
There were no ladies' toilets on the rocket.
No, the Russians actually had a female astronaut only 2 years after the first man, first cosmonaut in space.
Yes.
But the Americans took like 20 years to do it.
Wow. There's this amazing series, right? It's on Apple TV. It's called For All Mankind.
Oh, yeah, but the alternate history.
Yeah, so it's the ultimate history of what happens if Russians actually landed on the moon first,
Dun, dun,
and then what would happen with that. Anyway, and in the series, within like the next year, suddenly they went, okay, the US went, we've got to do something better to go against them. And then suddenly women astronauts were happening right then, way before, you know?
Yep.
It was a fact. So anyway.
So Stella gathered her friends, and together they studied and strengthened and practiced and prepared until finally they were all ready.
All of them? So what do we have there? What are our friends?
We've got, Stella, we've got a penguin, we've got an octopus, a sloth, and a tiger.
An octopus, that'll be...
An octopus.
No, they'd be handy. They could get in nooks and crannies.
Yeah,
and
That's right, escape artists, and also 8 limbs. They can do
I know, it's like
multitasking.
8 ropes.
That's right. The man didn't know what to do. Well, he said, "I'll get my manager." The man's manager didn't know what to do, so he went and got his manager.
Yeah.
The man's manager's manager didn't know either, so he went and got his manager.
Wow.
So right to the top.
On and on this went until they ran out of managers. You might notice that one of them looks a little bit like John Howard.
Oh, that is a John Howard manager.
Maybe it's unintentional, maybe it's not, I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Don't tell him.
I know.
The one looks a little bit like Bob Hawke as well, if you squint.
So they asked the big boss of Space Command. The big boss and all the managers sat at a long table to have a long talk about the elephant in the room.
And the literal elephant.
Very good.
Had to be done. Sorry. Why won't they approve my application? Thought Stella.
I'm puzzled.
I've trained for this. I have a suit, a rocket, and a crew.
She does.
They have to let me be an astronaut. They have to.
They do.
Then Stella realised that actually they didn't have to. She didn't need their approval. She had everything she needed
What do you mean?
already.
She had the team.
Did she have the
suit.
rocket?
We are go for launch. T minus 10, 9, 8.
She's doing it
7,
without...
6,
She is
5,
amazing.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have liftoff. And this is the thing about picture books. Sometimes you have pages with no words.
Yeah, I know. So on the next
turn the
page, there's a
page.
giant explosion.
I had that with a class of pre-primaries once. This pre-primary kid goes, "What happens next? Does the rocket explode?" I was like, "Kid, do you think I'm going to kill off all my main characters at the climax? What's going on?" But I want to see it explode.
It's a franchise, kid. Back off.
Exactly right. So, no, we have Stella and her whole crew spacewalking above the Earth, looking down, lit from below. Very happy.
What a great
illustrations
message.
are
Can I
awesome.
just say the spacesuit for an octopus it's a lot of work, isn't it? It's a lot of sleeves.
Goodness. Well, that's the thing. I liked the idea that you'd have all these animals that would have different needs for their spacesuits. So you'd have to actually fill his with water.
Yes.
But everyone would have to have their own specific spacesuit. And then even when you get to the end, when Stella comes back to Earth, she creates her own aerospace thing. She gives all these other animals a go.
So many.
I mean, how would you make a helmet for an antelope?
Yeah,
Or a moose?
That's a great
That's
point.
tough to go. Kung Fu Panda gets a Guernsey there, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, don't tell DreamWorks.
That was good. That was a good adventure.
James,
that
well
means
done.
the kids, if you're listening, you can do anything. If someone
long as
says
you're an
no,
elephant.
it's like you can do it. So when Mum and Dad say no next time, go no. James Foley said I can do it.
I'll make it myself.
That's right. You can go into space.
James, thank you.
No
It's
worries.
a joy to have you in the studio. Now we have one of your books to give away,
Yes, we do.
and it's been signed.
Yes,
by
we've got a copy
you,
of Stellaphant to give away.
Stellaphant.
as read by James Foley,
That's
the author
right.
and illustrator.
With my bronchitis germs on the book.
Yeah.
We'll
Beautiful.
sterilise it
What a
before. It's all
gift.
good.
Can you just lick the entire cover first?
James, thank you so much. Happy
Thanks,
happy
James.
book week to
Yeah,
you.
James.
And before we got, thanks to all the CBCA volunteers around the country, all the librarians who put it
Yeah.
together. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Good on
And
you,
to
buddy.
Chase, who lent you his
Chase,
phone.
you're a
Exactly right.
legend.
He's going to be making an appearance in a book to come.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.